morning. Good morning. Oh, here we go. I always hate this bit at the beginning. We have to wait for people to join in because you feel a bit silly chatting to yourself. Now. Hello. Oh, Crazy Lorraine's first in this morning. How are you, Crazy Lorraine? I'm just trying to work out. I do this every time, don't I? I'm trying to watch it to make sure I'm sitting in the right place. Morning, Marina. Morning, Princess. What's it? How are you all? Hello, Jennifer. Am I in the right place? I haven't got FaceTime across my face. Hello, Hannah Bradley Cohen. How are you? Oh, do you know what? My hay fever's been fine. Morning, Linda. Hello, Julie. Julie's watching, everyone. I'll tell you about Nana Kate's funeral in a second before we start. Jan, I still think you need to go to Specsavers. Hello, Shirley Biggerstaff Moore. How are you, Princess? Am I in the right place in the screen? I'm just trying to look for it on my YouTube, on my Facebook now. Morning, Derek. I could never find it. I don't know how you're supposed to find it. Morning, Dulcie. I'll be around later, actually, Dulcie. Each time I've been round to Dulcie to do a delivery this week, she's been out. Christopher's watching. How are you, Christopher? Gerardine, how's the hat fever? You've got to learn which keys you're pressing, Gerardine, my love. It was fine, and suddenly I've just had a little bout of it now. Morning, Eileen. Morning, Vanessa. Oh, she's saying good morning to everybody. Oh, okay. Jackie, good morning. Oh, it's overcast. It's important to be overcast here as well. Did the flamingo have a ribbon, Lorraine? Chloe's watching. No cleaning today then, Chloe, because you can go back to work now. Chloe's got a cleaning company and she's got celebrity clients and everything. Morning, Sheila. Marcia, how are you? How are you? It's lovely to see you all. Fantastic you're all here. Windy, Blair Gowrie. Ooh, I'm not sure where Blair Gowrie is. Morning, Maureen. Maureen's just across the road to Julie in the house next door at the moment. Oh, Margaret, you're more than welcome, my love. More than welcome. Oh, already, Julie's already got her pattern. I'll talk to you about the pattern in a second. I'm just waiting to see if Francesca's supposed to be watching this morning. Morning, Diane. Hello, Diane. She'll be under the name of her husband. Morning, John from Windy, North Yorkshire. Oh, yes, that's quite nice, isn't it? Oh, I've got a creaky chair, though. I've got a creaky chair. Let me switch that off now, then. Now that I know I'm in the right place. Morning from Yorkshire. Good morning, Susan. How is everybody? Have you had a good week? Oh, there we go. Right, now Francesca's watching, but she's under the name of her husband. Look, Pete Briquette. Yes, she married well. She married famous. I know. Good morning, John. Everyone else lovely in Burntisland in Scotland. Oh, very nice. Hello, Nikki. Nikki's just down the road. Cutting out the doll pattern while this Pam Miniharni's cutting it out while I'm saying hello. Blimey. Oh, it's raining in the caravan park in Peterborough. I look fruitful. Oh, yes. It's my fruity shirt today, isn't it? Lovely. Right, so let's first of all, before we start, I'll just tell you a quick thing about Nana Kate's funeral. It was beautiful. Julie and the family did it's strange times, isn't it? Really, really, really strange times. And only 15 of you were allowed in. But you know what was lovely? Was we followed the hearse from Nana's house. I'll read your message in a second. We followed the hearse from Nana's house, and the whole street, she lives in this really, 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 really long road, like quite a few miles long, I'd say. Maybe a mile and a half. But anyway, yeah, Francesca's posing her as a husband, exactly. Overcast here. Glad you're on the day. Oh, that's all right. That's right. Right, okay. So I was telling you about. Let's just say it's grey and cloudy everywhere. Shall we? Melton Mowbray. And Francesca said the same thing twice. She's not used to this. She doesn't do Facebook normally. Anyway, Julie told all the neighbours, she leafleted all the neighbours and everything, and they all came out. Because when Nana was younger, she used to live in a house at one end of the road, and then later on in life, when the kids had grown up, she moved to a different house at the other end of the road. And so everybody in the street knew who she was. She was quite, what's the word? Not powerful, that's not the word. Oh, it's windy in Daventry. It's not windy here. Mark, I thought you were in Thailand or somewhere like that. Anyway, excuse me, sniffing. It'll stop in a minute. Oh, I saw you making elderflower cordial last night. I didn't know what it was. Everyone knew what it was. Granddaughter's Amy's 19. Blimey. I've never known a person with so many relatives. That's crazy, Lorraine. Hello, Penny. Oh, now Penny's in the same village as me, and she's suffering with a hay fever this morning. Pete's watching. Pete, the life guru, is watching. Good to see you made it on time. Who was that? Jax. Well done. Hello, Turpum. Right, I will start. So, lovely to see you too, Sue. So anyway, we followed the hearse to the crematorium, went in, there were just 15 of us in there. The only thing, thank you, Sheila, the only thing I worried about was open the brochure, the programme. I don't know what I've done with it, I filed it away already. And I saw a song in it, and I thought, oh no, 15 of us singing a song in a little crem. Anyway, in this day and age, and you're not allowed to sing. You're not allowed to sing in case you spread germs and things. So it was played on, the priest had to learn how to do the sound system and everything. Prominent, that's quite a good word. I don't mean prominent. Well loved is what I was thinking of. Influential, very good, Pete, influential. She was just loved by everybody, really, Nana. I loved her. I absolutely adored Nana Kate. She was hard-faced. I'm sure I'm not saying anything out of influential. I'm not saying anything out of turn, but I loved her. I loved her so much. And she was brilliant. She was just such a love. She had a very naughty sense of humour. Never without a boyfriend, because Grandpa Vincent died many, many years ago. Greasby, yes, Sue, it was in Greasby. Sue. Oh, actually, Sue, aren't you in, just down the road in, you're near Julia, aren't you? Oh, I'll think of it in a minute. Anna saying that's watching now. Right, okay. So this week, morning, Lady Jasmine. This week, now a lot of you have been asking me about these dolls. Look at John Scott's Own World on Facebook. Scroll. Oh, that's someone else. Talk to someone else, sorry. They tell you how to watch. I think, are you telling somebody how to watch? I don't know what that message was about there. Oh, now look, everyone's going to say hello to everybody else now, look. So we all talk about these wet and windy. Oh, no, it's not wet and windy here. It's not cold and it's not windy. It's just very still and grey. Hello, Newcastle. I'll be up your way soon. How are you all? I'll start the story. Come on. Buenos dias, querida. That one, Sophia always comes in with that. Right. So we always talk about these dolls, and some people have made them. Hundreds of you have made them. But we need more. We need more. And just in case you don't know, oh, hang on. I'll just cut. Oh, look, you're sending me so many lovely messages. I'm not going to see them all. I'll read them all later. I do read them later, I promise. I just might not be able to read them all out. Oh, an internet link. We didn't have an internet link for Nanas. Right. So, let me just tell you about what these dolls are, right? So, years and years ago, when I worked in the film industry, Francesca used to work in the film industry as well. And we were on a Bond film together, and we did a film called Funny Bones together. She didn't do costumes. She was in production. She thought she wanted to be a producer. Oh, those flowers were beautiful, Tanis. They weren't from me. A lot of people thought they were from me. Julie had arranged those from her friend Richard, the florist. Well, I'm not going to say anything. I think Richard's a big old Nancy boy, but he's not, apparently. But anyway. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, here's Julie. She was incredibly stubborn, feisty, wicked sense of humour. Probably why you two were so close, you cheeky man. That's Julie, my sister, saying that. Sister-in-law, but she's like my sister. Anyway, so Francesca didn't want to be... She married a rock star, first of all. It had Luciano and Serafina. Luciano's my godchild, my godson, and Serafina is my surrogate, because I think her godfather passed away. Anyway, Francesca trained to be a forensic... Now, let me get this right. A forensic psychologist. And she now works with... I don't want this to get maudlin. I don't want it to get maudlin this morning, but she now works with children. She is their representative in court. I think this is right. If I'm wrong, Francesca will tell you. But basically, Francesca works with, and a lot of people do it in the world. So, oh, now people are chatting to Julie now. That's fine. So Francesca works with these children, right? They literally, right? They are. It's just, I don't know how she does it. Now obviously Francesca doesn't tell me she can't obviously tell me about what's going on and everything like that. But I know these children have been abused and things like that. And within their therapy, excuse me, they use little dolls, right? They use little, oh, it's a bit bleached out, that one. they use little dolls, right, for their therapy. First of all, not necessarily just to say, he said, I don't want this to get, I don't know enough about this. Hello, Jean, my love. But basically, they need little dolls to do their job with. And I can't tell you, the ones that have already gone out are creating mayhem within the industry, because everybody now wants them. Because the children might not be able to talk, or might not be able to... Hello, Patricia, my love. In your link, I can't find the large dolls clothes. Oh, no, there isn't. I'll tell you about that in a second. So basically, Francesca, well, you've already sent me hundreds of these dolls, right? And Francesca sent them out to her. She kept some for herself, obviously, and then sent some out to other people that do the same job that she does, right? Anyway, they have I don't know what the group's called, but they have a WhatsApp group. Francesca's now got a waiting list of about 400 people, right? 400 people wanting these dollies. Because in court cases, it's proved that these help the children, right? It's absolutely proved that these help the children tell their story, right? So it's really, really important. Now, I'm not going to make... I know it's heartbreaking. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible, the fact that we need these. And I'm sure Francesca won't mind me saying this, but... during lockdown, it's got worse. It's got worse, right? So Francesca is really the spokesperson for the child in the courtroom. So she obviously has to know how what's happened. I'll talk you through the wool hair in a minute, yeah. She is the spokesperson for that child. So basically, that child's future doesn't depend on Francesca. That sounds too... But basically, she's helping. She is the step to help that child move on in their lives and get... So basically, what they're looking for is families of dolls. So I've got a mum and a dad, I've got a little girl, and I've got a little boy. Right? Now, before you say anything, I know these are all Caucasian children, right? They can be any colour, they can be any creed that you want them to be. Because children don't... I've written it down. Children don't distinguish between race or colour. So you can make them whatever nationality you want to make them, right? But there are rules that you have to abide by. Oh, look, she looks the first time she's watching a friend of Mother Kate's. Right. There's a video showing you on YouTube. For me, I haven't put mine on YouTube yet. But anyway. I know, Joe, I don't know how she does that job. She and her colleagues, I don't know how they do it. I just don't know. I just don't know. So, there are a few rules about the dolls. Before we start on the dolls, I have to read out the rules here. Right. We need to make... Hello, Steve, Mia, how are you, my lovely? He's gone a bit crazy on Amazon. He's just opened an Amazon account and he's buying bird feeders and everything. I think the lockdown's really getting to him. Oh, he's fabulous. He's not a knight now, but he got something from the Queen last year for his services to dancing. It is bad today, and it wasn't when I woke up, but I'm sure it'll get better. Hello, Karen. Did my card arrive, Karen? Oh, Alec, my lovely. Oh, now my lovely niece Alex is watching. I was all right at the funeral, right? And then Alex wrote a poem for Nana. Now, Alex's poems are amazing, but sometimes they're a little bit... I don't know, Sunday morning, I won't use the word. They're brilliant, but they're quite shocking, right? And I said, oh, you've not done... She wrote the most beautiful poem. I'm going to start now. And that's when I started crying at the funeral, because it was just so beautiful. And do you know what? I don't know if Alex is got the same the Scott genes as me, but what the things she was saying in that poem were all about what I believe. And it's really funny because in the morning I'd said to somebody, oh, Nana Kate will be on her pink cloud now, supping champagne, you know what I mean? And then it was in the poem. It was in the poem that if you see a pink cloud go past, I'm going to ask Alex if I can publish it on Facebook. She'll most probably say no, but anyway. Right, so mum, dad, boy and girl can be any ethnicity, as I said, because the children don't distinguish between race or colour. Now, the clothes that you make, they can be as simple as but they've got to be removable. And they've got to have pants, right, which also have to be removable. And the most important thing is you must not make them anatomically correct, right? So we don't want boobies or anything like that. Literally, you have to be able to tell from just looking at it, this is a little girl, this is a grown lady, this is a grown man, this is a little boy, right? That's the way we show. Now, the size... It doesn't really matter because we had ones this big and we had ones this big. Ideally, the children should be about 6 to 8 inches tall, and the parents should be about 10 to 15 inches tall. But if you make them bigger, it really, really, really doesn't matter. Now, they don't have to be made like this. They can be knitted, they can be crocheted, they can be anything you want, right? Now, what happens is some people made one doll, which is absolutely fine, and Francesca put them into family groups. Morning, everyone. I'm not saying hello to everyone because there's so many of you there today, and I really need to get on with this today. But I'm very grateful that you're tuning in. So, Francesca put them into family groups, but occasionally you get one that doesn't fit into a family group. They're given to the children as comfort dolls, because sometimes, you know, these children haven't seen much love in their life, have they? Oh, she says, yes, I can publish her poem. She hasn't sent it to me yet, but I will publish her poem. I'll put it on my Facebook page later. So sometimes that, you see, these are used by the therapist. I don't want to call them therapists. I'm not quite sure what they're real. Oh, here we go. Sally used to work in child protection and police officer. It's harrowing and so sad. This is a lovely idea. Lovely, but it works. It works. We had one message straight away from a lady who got a family last time who said she'd been in court that day, and said, well, with a child in it. Oh, not in court, but she'd been with a child that day, and it had worked brilliantly. So you won't believe how these simple little dolls like this, right? How much good they can do, right? How much good these can do for these poor children. I mean, I'm not even going to go there. But anyway, so they're the rules. They're the rules. Child advocates, is that what they're called? Oh, intermediaries, they're called. Intermediaries, they're called. Thank you. They're not therapists, but I've called these therapy dolls because that's kind of what they're like. Because some of these children have been so badly abused, they can't even speak. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, we're not going to dwell on that. We're not going to dwell on that. So, what I've done is on my website, www.johnscottsewingworld.com, www.johnscotts, 2 T's, 2 S's, Sewing World. But I did buy the one with 1 T and 1 S as well, in case you spelt it wrong. If you go there, there's a page that says free patterns and free demos. You can still see that all ones to the NHS are there. But also, this is here, the instructions for the template. Excuse me. Oh, I forgot to bring my water up with me as well today. So if you download it, this is what you get. We've called them therapy dolls because we were going to call them Francesca dolls, then we decided to call them therapy dolls, right? So you get this page of instructions with my lovely logo on the top, right? Then you get templates. So this is the grown-up one. It could be the boy or the girl. That's the boy's hair there, the man's hair there. You also get the little one with that's the back of the dad's head there, and then the small child's hair there. Now, you also get this, right? I think, ignore this. I think, having sat and sewn them myself this week, I would ignore that one. I would ignore that. I know, Karen, it's just why in an ideal world we wouldn't have to make these, would we? Just be making dollies for children to play with. But if we can help a tiny little bit in those children's lives, then I think it's worth it. So ignore that one for now. Ignore that one for now. Right, so I've cut out the big one, right? So this is what I've done. So I'm cutting out the big, like the dad, the adult man. So I've cut my body here. Ooh, got a few threads there. I was up quite late doing these last night, so it's a bit dodgy, right? So that should grown up there. Now you see the 2 little marks here and here? That's where you turn it through, okay? That's where you can turn it through. Now, if you're doing the felt hair, you've got to turn it through there or somewhere else like that. But if you're doing the hair, the wool hair, you can bag out through the top of the head, which is so much easier because the hair is going to cover the seam that you bag it through. Also, what I did yesterday, well, I thought yesterday, and I haven't got any freezer paper. If you've got freezer paper, you could draw it, you know, like Mandy Shaw does, right? You can draw it on the freezer paper. Morning, John Scott Selwell from Wexford. Okay. And thank you so much, everybody. I mean, these are for Mary Tanner. I've got to say, Mary Tanner, lovely Mary Tanner has made these. I haven't done these ones. Mary Tanner, you remember when we did Ben's quilt? Do you remember all that time ago? She flew to Germany, to Martina's, and they quilted, long arm quilted it and put it together and everything. The pants are okay. I made them out of felt and pink the edges. Yeah. Pinking shears are perfect. for this project. So this is my grown-up body, and then this is my grown-up hair. Now I've done the hair out of felt, you see. Oh, don't worry, Linda, don't worry. But you can also do the hair like this. You can do the hair like this. I'll tell you how to do that in a second. I haven't actually done one because I haven't got any wool. And the shops aren't open, are they, for me to nip and get the wool and everything. So literally, what you do... Right, okay. Now, if you've never... let me start. If you've never made dolls before, which I haven't, or if you're not used to doing fiddly little things, this isn't the simplest. It's not the simplest. You will swear a little bit when you're making these. Gerardine messaged me saying the hair was blue when she made hers. Anyway, so what you do is obviously take the pattern off. And you cut two of the body, obviously, but just one of each of the hairs. So you've got your two body shapes here like this. Right? And you literally place the hair on the right side of the front. You can have it going either way. It doesn't matter which way you go. Oh, yes, that's a good idea, Wendy. Wendy prints it up onto card. So she uses card to cut round. And then that's the back of his head. That one there's the back of his head. Now, I don't quite know what happened there. That's come out a little bit bigger. So you can just trim it down. Not a problem. Let's just trim it down to the right size. We've gone all quiet now while I'm cutting. The creaking on the chair. Oh, is it getting on your nerves? Actually, should I change it? I'll change it to the stool. It's a very expensive Lloyd Loom chair, this one as well. There we go. Just trim that down like that. I'll sit on my milking stool. I'll sit on the milking stool instead. There we go. Is that better? Right. Oh, Kath. I will read all these messages. I will read all these messages afterwards, I promise. Do the male dog... Yes, they all need pants. Whether they're boys or girls, mums or dads, they all need pants. I've just used calico. That's just a lightweight calico from Dulcie. And the freezer paper is good for the children's clothes as well, because they're so tiny. Right, yes, now, that was the other thing I was going to say. Thank you for reminding me, whoever that was. Julie, if you go to Anna Sewing Nut, oh, I'm exhausted now. If you go to her Facebook page, she has got videos, she's got patterns, she's got all sorts. There's also a link on my Facebook page as well. Slightly different way of making them. Doesn't matter how they're made, doesn't matter. The thing is, if you're going to knit them and crochet them, you don't have to follow these at all. Oh, it's the table. It's the table that's creaking, not my chair. They all need underwear there, Francesca. And yes, they must all have underwear. It doesn't matter how you make them. These are just two. This one, which Mary Tanner and Gerardine that use this pattern. And Mary Tanner sent it to me. And then Anna Sewing Nut, she's got one on her machine, on her Facebook page as well. Doesn't matter how you make them. Doesn't matter what colour they are, what size they are, anything. They will be used. They will be used. So this is just one way. But like getting back to, yes, I've given it a go. Look, this was my, now ignore the sewing because I didn't change the colour. Oh, there you go. Look, Anna Sewing Nut says it's on her web page, thesewingnut.com/free stuff. Right? This was me. This was my first one. Now, they're not brilliant at all. My first one's not brilliant. But, you know, if I can do it, you can, right? If I can do this, then you can definitely do it. Sewing Nut was the YouTube hair I was saying I want to look at. Oh, there you go. There you go. Does the colour of hair length different help any? Yes, obviously. So the little girl's going to need longer hair. This is going to look a bit... The thing is, I think even if you did this method and put a dress on it, you'd be fine. You'd be fine making it into a lady. In fact, what we can do is I'll put the dress on this one afterwards and we can see, right? So then what you do is, I'm very aware of the time because I'm waffling on very much. So then what you do on this one is you baste stitch all the way around. This is calico, Linda, but you can use any sort of cotton, craft cotton. Yes, please send them to my P.O. box number, my P.O. box address, please. It's actually my house, but I just didn't want to give out my address to everybody. Yes, calico, Princess What's It's calico, lightweight calico. So if you're going to base stitch all the way around the outside edge of there, now you can do these by hand as well. You can do them by hand as well, but you do need to top stitch very along the edge here, right? So that's what I was going to show you today, but I'm not sure. Well, I'll do it. I'll do a bit of sewing. It's a bit early in the morning for me, so hang on. Now, I haven't prepped this. I might have to move my iPad and everything like that. So my sewing machine's here. Oh, you still there? Yeah, just trying to angle it so it's at the right place. Can you see that there? There you go. Right, so you literally, on this one, on the back of the head, you just basted all around the outside there. Basting means just use a big stitch to hold in place. And I just did a top stitch line across the base there just to hold the felt in. And you literally, because you're not going to see these stitches, because, oh, you can't see my face. You're not going to see these stitches because they're going to be inside the seam allowance. So what you want to do is you want to stitch as close to this edge as you possibly can. You could just tack it. If you want to, you could just tack it if you want to hand tack it. Because then if you do go over the stitches later, you just pull the hand tacking out. Now I move the needle right over to the far right on my machine. Just makes it a little bit easier. I'm lucky because I've got this very posh machine. Come on, there we go. Right, and then I literally, I don't know if, can you see this? Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, I'll just do this one very quickly. The other thing is if you do go out of the line, and you do see it when you make it on, you can always unpick it later because it's going to be, the felt's going to be caught in the seam, isn't it? A bit wobbly there. The thing is, we're not making an haute couture garment. We're making a little dolly that is going to help some child somewhere along the line. Okay, so there we go. Oh. And then the front one here, oh, I'll show you that one there. So I've just stitched it. Can you just see? I've just stitched it round the edge, just basted round the edge there. Now this one is a little bit different because you can baste round the edge because the top bit's going to go into the seam. You do have to do a lot of needle. If your machine's got a needle down position, leave it in that, which means every time you stop, you can put the needle down, lift the foot, reposition, and move around a bit more. Right, but then obviously this bit, don't worry, I'm not going to spend the whole hour doing stitching like this. So then this bit is the bit you're going to see. So you literally stitch along the edge of your felt. If you want to ask Francesca any questions, she is watching. She answers as Pete Briquette, but you do, there we go. She will answer your questions. Right, let's just put everything back. Switch that off. Back up there. Oh, now Rosemary says, I think mine are slightly fatter. Oh no, right, now, if you want to add, I'll just show you that first. I'll just show you that. Ooh, yeah, there you go. So that's because it's felt, it doesn't matter. You're not going to see this seam here because that's going to go into the seam. And then that's the hair edge there. Oh, now Roxana, she put on one of my questions, she did put a different way of making the hair as well. What was the question? Oh, yes. Now, if they're too fiddly for you, you can add seam allowance to make them a little bit bigger. It's not a problem at all, especially on this one. I find the little one, you do need... see, Francesca, she was overwhelmed. When she got your last lot of dolls, she was in tears most days. And she's not the kind of girl that's in tears most days. I tell you, she's a hard face. What's it? Well, she's from the film industry. She was going to be a film producer, wasn't she? Oh, don't worry, Janet. You can catch up on YouTube later. Then what you do is you put right sides together and you stitch all the way around the outside, apart from, it doesn't matter which side, that side bit there, right? Trim it down. Now, what you've got to do is when you've stitched it, I did mean to have all the stages done, but it got too late last night because I lost Friday, because Friday's normally my prep day for all of this. I'll draw, have I got a pen here? Got a pencil. Right, because when you're sewing, your seam is going to be like this, isn't it? When you sew, your seam's going to be like that. Make sure you trim or you snip into the corners there and here, so that when you turn it through, it goes through properly. Do the thing, right, yes. Well, I would say what happens, Helen, is the therapists keep the dolls to work with different children, but sometimes if the children, if the children are so distraught, they do have to give them the tiny snips, yeah. They do give them to children, or they use one of the other dolls that isn't in a family and give it to the child as the therapy. Janet, Friday, it was lovely Friday. It was absolutely lovely. Oh, I doubt she's hard-faced. No, she's got softer shoulder. I'm just thinking about when she was a film producer, Ali. Oh, hard. We did a film in Blackpool together, and it was such a difficult film, I can't tell you. But we had each other to get each other through. I tell you what, that film, I've never been out clubbing quite so much. We used to go to the Pink Flamingo Club in Blackpool, because we were filming in Blackpool. And what was his name? Boy George was singing there once. And Debbie, who was the assistant costume designer, she went, oh, I know Boy George. And we went, yeah, of course you do. Anyway, she did. She was like in that gang with him, with Marilyn and Debbie and everybody at the beginning. Anyway, oh, Joe Carter. Right, small stitches good. It makes the seam sturdier, so you don't have to be too careful and delicate when stuffing them. Thank you, Joe. It's really funny, Joe. Also easy to keep control over small stitches. Yeah, I had one, oh, I've switched off now. I think I had 1.8 on mine. Pinking shears are brilliant into it, because then you can cut all the way in. Don't have to worry so much about the snipping in. Right, now, when you turn it through, it's like, well, I can only guess this. No, we're not going to tell the whole story of that, Phil. Francesca, were you married then, Francesca? I can't remember then. Anyway, use small stitches. I was thinking of Joe Carter all the time, because she must do little pieces like this with her. Oh, have you seen Perry the Parrot? Oh, you've got to go and buy Perry the Parrot. He's gorgeous. Anyway, Mark Ullman sings about Pink Flamingo, does he? He wasn't there, though. It was just a nightclub in Blackpool. God, that film. And it was. Oh, I'm not going to go on about it, but it was awful. It was dreadful. It was one of the worst films I've ever worked on. And we had to keep changing hotels, and oh, it was ridiculous. Oh, she put no. Anyway. So you stitch all the way. Now, trying to get the head through that little hole is a nightmare. I would suggest, I haven't got them here now, the Prim turning tool that Ali bought me. Hello, Emma. Don't worry, they're late. Oh, it was the year before she got married. It was the year before she got married. Anyway, so you turn it through, and then you have to stuff it. Where's my one? Oh, here you go. Let me just undress my one here. Right, so this is what it looked like. Turn through. Now, the thing is, they have to be quite malleable. There we go. Now, can you see the mistakes I made on my first one? I didn't snip far enough into the armhole. No? Oh, someone's already bought Perry the Parrot. And I also didn't stuff, look, he's got a bit of a weak ankle. I personally love the flying handbag. Oh, I don't think that was there. Vix is watching everyone. I didn't think the flying handbag was there. So anyway, that's what it looks. Now, I obviously sewed mine in brown, so you can see the stitches. So make sure you stitch in the colour that you're meant to. And then all you do is you just whip stitch up the side there where you've turned it through. But the Prim turning tool was my saviour. My absolute saviour with that one. So literally, that's your little dolly. That is your little dolly. Now let's talk about faces, because you can do two things with the faces. Mary has embroidered the faces on, and they're very simple. They're very, very simple. You see, like that. She's got little stitches. Are they knots? Oh yeah, those have got knots, like colonial knots as their eyes. But she's got just satin stitches going across as her eyes. Right, and then now the other thing you can do is you can use, now I've written it down somewhere, Mandy Shaw always uses Micron Pigma pens, non-fade, archival quality. They're very good because they don't run. They don't run. I've got quilting cotton should be strong enough if interfaced. Oh yes, quilting cotton. No, you don't even have to. Are you talking about this? You have to interface it. The quilting cotton's fine. So that's your dolly there. That's your basic dolly there. Now, obviously the boy hair is like the felt we've done already there. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to put the dress, the dolly dress, on that because it could be a lady with short hair, couldn't it? Bear with me. Well, I don't want to be archetypal, but you could give her red lips, I suppose. You know, I don't know. That's just a quick look. Come on, John. One job. Through there. Put the arm through there. Oops. There you see. Now you see. It could be as long as it's got a. Oh. There we go. There we go. You see, that's a lady with short hair, isn't it? You see. So I wouldn't worry if you want to do all felt hair. You can do all felt hair, couldn't you? Right, but if you want to do the wool hair, I think, did I put it on the instructions or not? Oh, yes, it's on the instructions. It's on the instructions. Here, look. So it's very, very simple. Can you sew the face on before you sew the dots? Oh, yes, I suppose so. You could do the face before that. I just used toy stuffing. I just used toy stuffing. Now, I tell you what would be brilliant. What would be absolutely brilliant. Oh, now that I'm in my new room, I can see the world going past. Someone's been to the paper shop. Funny way to come back for the paper shop. Right, Anna's saying that those dolls were actually fantastic, used last week. There you go. Look, Anna. There you go. Yours were used last week. Anyway, you get a piece of cardboard and you wrap the wool around the cardboard, and then you see here it's sewn to a tape. You machine it to a tape, and then you just attach the tape to the top of the head, and that creates the woolen hair. So if you want to do the woolly hair, but do you know what? You could do what does Mandy Shaw do? She cuts up fleece, doesn't she? She fringes fleece. And so that's what you could do that as well. Whatever's good for you, whatever you like, you can do. Okay, I can see you all chatting to each other there. Right, now, so that's your dolly, and that's your hair, and they're your faces. Oh, you're all laughing about the way I tried to dress a doll. Do you mind? I'm doing my best here. I've got to put that one back on there now. Anyway, so what I did last night was, you know that fourth page I just showed you, and I said, oh, it's a bit complicated. I don't know what I've done with it now. Anyway. What I've done is I've drawn up some patterns, right? So I'm going to get Ali, my Ali, who does my website, I'm going to get her to add these to my website today because they're very, very simple shapes. So I'll get Ali to put those on my website later and she'll show you how to make them. So I'll write instructions for them because here it is. This is one I cut out last night. It's very, very simple, look. Very, very simple. Oh, you're all having conversations without me. I'm missing out on all the conversations today. So literally, oh, that's the other thing I need to say. And it is on there. The patterns don't have seam allowance on them. Do we have to think about the age of the child who will have the dog? No, you don't. You just literally make two parents. Oh, no, you can make whatever you want. You make one, that's perfect. You make two, it's perfect. They put them into family groups, right? Right? So these are much, much simpler patterns, right? No, because they're not given to them to play with like dollies. They're not, they won't be sitting there chewing them and things like that, I don't think. I'll ask Francesca. Within the therapy, Do you need to worry about any of this? But if their children chew on them or anything like that, because they're not given to them as like playthings, are they? I don't really understand. But anyway, hello, Bernie. Ideally, the best thing is to make a whole family, but I would never expect everybody to make 4. The simpler, the better. There you go. Because they work. Well, they do work with all ages, because I'm sure Francesca won't mind me saying this. The people she's working with at the moment, some of them are up to 17 because they're still considered children up to the age of 17, aren't they? So she's working with 17-year-olds. I don't know if you'd use a dolly for 17-year-olds. I'm not sure. Yes. So anyway, the pattern, they're very, very simple. It's really weird. When I first started at Wimbledon School of Art, they're supervised at all times. Look, so they work. So don't worry about them chewing the face off the doll or anything. There's a book called Tilk, and it's all about clothes from the earliest times. And of course, this is how clothes are made. Oh, there you go. Look, Anna says, oh, yes, she said it's easier to do the face once it's stuffed. Oh, and the other thing about the stuffing is make sure you overstuff it to start with, because the stuffing will get less stuffed as time. And also make sure you stuff the neck really, really well, which is why what they're called hemostats. Now, Mandy Shaw normally sells them on her website. They're out of stock at the moment, but she will. They don't play with them. They're demonstrating, so don't worry about eating buttons. Oh, there you go. And yes, I have used them. Oh, and they use them with 17 or 18-year-olds. There you go, you see. Yes, please do send them to my P.O. Box number. Oh, Jean, I'm sure, Jean, if you private message me, I'll send you a hard copy of the Jean. Now, the body, the pattern doesn't have seam allowance, but if you're going to find it a little bit fiddly, you can add seam allowance to it. Because when you come to do the little one, oh, I don't know where the little one's gone. When you come to the little one, it is quite diddy. It is quite diddy. So if you do want to add a 1/2 inch seam allowance, then that's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Yes, please, to my P.O. Box. Anyway, so what I did was, this was the man's jumper, which is this here. Now, what I found easier, now I've done this, I didn't change the colour on the thread, so you can see what I've done here, right? So what I found easiest was I hemmed, when it was in 2 pieces, here, I'll do it on this one. So you've cut 2 of these. Now this is where you do get burnt fingers, right? So what I did was, so you have 2 pieces like this and like this. Oh, it's quite good sitting here because I can see the clock. I can see how much I've waffled on. Right. So, yeah, the address is on the instructions when you're done. Is there a deadline? No, Bernie. There is no deadline whatsoever because, I mean, there is a need for them. Oh, look, I work with up to 85-year-old learners. Oh, you see? The simpler the doll, the easier it is for clients to communicate. Oh, now that's it. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Anyway, if you're making the man's t-shirt, you've got 2 of these, right? What I did was I hemmed the sleeve before I sewed it together. So you hem each of those 2. I'll write all this down for you. And you hem the bottom. And then you sew it together along the underarm and down the side. Along the underarm, down the side. And then on the pattern, there's a little notch where the neckline is. And I literally only sewed the seam up to there, turned it inside, and I machined it. Now, Mary said she used jersey for hers because, first of all, it doesn't fray like cotton does, and she just found it easy to work with because it was stretchy and everything like that. So that's your little, your man, that's your great. They look tiny, don't they? Now, I need to tell you, it's fiddly. It is fiddly. Oh, look, you don't waffle, you chatter natter, ah. It can be easier to draw around the body templates, pin 2 layers together, sew on the line, then cut around the body after. Oh, there you go. There you go. Right, and then the trousers, these are your trousers here. That's your trouser pattern. Now, that's one leg. What you cut 2 of those out, right? And again, what I did was I hemmed the bottom, the hem there, and then literally you put those right sides together. Oops. And I just sewed down the inside leg seam there. So you make 2 legs, And then what you do is you put one leg, right sides together, you put one leg inside the other, and then you just sew around the crotch seam like that, which gives you your trousers. Oh, forceps, sorry. Hemostats are the things that doctors use. They're like forceps. And Mandy sells them normally. Mandy on Dandelion Design. She's out of stock at the moment, but she will be getting some more in. And I don't know where else you can get them from. They're sometimes called needle grippers as well. At Stone Quarter, we used to call them needle grippers. Anyway, then what you do for the top of the trousers is you literally get a piece of elastic. This is a very bad version, right? So I've got a piece of elastic, stretched the elastic, zigzagged it onto the inside of the trousers, and that creates your little elasticated waistband. So you don't have to do little, because you don't normally make a casing. It would be too fiddly to do. It is just like making scrubs trousers, but just smaller. Right, now, what I've also got to tell you is, let me just put those to one side. I've also done a pattern for a shirt, a man's shirt. So if you don't want to make the jumper, this is the back, and then you have two fronts, right? And you literally fold that back to create an overlap. And you could use a little piece of Velcro or something like that. So it looks like that. You see there? So you fold one back and then the other one across, and they fold over each other. So the centre front of the shirt is down the centre there. I'll write all these in the instructions for you. I'm going to have to do something about this table. It's very creaky. I do apologise. Oh, Jane Alcock, thank you for joining at 10 to 12. Triangling websites. They're called something like pullers. Oh, didn't need to know that first thing, Anne. But good, that's good, thank you. I don't know what Mandy calls them, but she used them, and basically what it is you can get a bit of stuffing on the end of the forceps and you can push it to exactly where you need it to go, because I had that issue. Now, the pants on the lady, Mary's used some like Tana Lawn, finer fabric. Would stretchy fabric make it easier? Yes, Penny, stretchy fabric's brilliant if you've got jersey. Mary said she cut up an old t-shirt for hers. I was going to do that yesterday, and then I got to my t-shirt drawer and I was like, oh, I don't know. They're all old, they're all falling apart, but I didn't really want to cut any of them up. If anyone can't do yarn hair, you could do a fabric and paint pen. Oh, yes. Yes, you could draw the hair on. You can draw the hair on. Try a fishing tackle shop. I nicked mine off my partner. Oh, look. For crochet, there's a book called Edward's Crochet Doll Emporium that has clothes in it. Thank you, Tanis. Right, Joe got hers from eBay. Right, now there was something else. Oh, now, yes, now look. Mary knitted. Where's the little boy? Mary knitted two little jumpers, sleeveless jumpers for hers. Now, if you've got a pen, or you can watch this later on, you can watch it. I've written down the pattern. It's so simple. Hang on, my phone's going crazy wherever it is. Right, so for knitting the jumper, you need 4-ply yarn, right? 4-ply yarn and 3mm needles. You cast on 20 stitches. You do 3 rows of knit 1, purl 1. I've written Kippy here, knit 1, purl 1. Then you do 10 rows of stocking stitch, which I presume is just normal stitch, isn't it? 1 row of knit 1, purl 1, cast off in rib. So if you know what that means, if you do knitting, you'll know what that means. So 4-ply yarn, 3mm needles, you cast on 20 stitches, 3 rows of knit 1, purl 1, 10 rows of stocking stitch, 1 row of knit 1, purl 1, cast off in rib. And what you do is you make 2 rectangles, sew them together down the sides there, and then just sew the little shoulder seams there. And that creates your little tank top. It's lovely, isn't it? Look. So if you can do knitting, you see, this is what I was saying about, you can do all sorts of these. It really, really is good. Hello, Valerie. You were so busy watching me, I hadn't checked in again. Oh, right, hang on. Anna does mine front to back. So she has a centre part. Oh, she's still talking about the hair. Talking about the hair there. If you go to Anna Sewing Nuts blog, she talks about hair. And also, if you get these instructions... Here, there. It's got the instruction for the woolen hair there. And I know that Roxanne has put a picture on one of the questions. Can you put the knitting pattern on your website? Yes, of course I will. Can you cut up a jumper? No, I wouldn't. Unless you've got an overlocker. I always find as soon as you cut a jumper, it unravels, especially when you're working with something so little. The pattern will be there forever, Dawn. I won't take it away, don't worry. And also, like someone said, Bernie said in earlier, is there a deadline? No, because sadly, it's not going anywhere, is it? This kind of thing is going to carry on happening, carry on happening, and carry on happening. The little girl's skirt, by the way, is literally just a rectangle. There it is. It's just a rectangle. And you just sew 2 of those together. Actually, no, you don't even sew 2 together. You just sew 1 together. That's your centre back seam. And you do the elastic trick that I did with the trousers. The boys' trousers are this one here, and then that where the dotted line is, that's the boys' pants. And the girls, But remember, they've all got to have pants, and they've all got to be removable. Now, is there anything else I've got to tell you? I wrote a list of things I had to tell you. Told you about the faces, told you about the knitting. Oh yeah, Mary found the jersey for the clothes was better. Oh look, that's nice, Wendy. Do you need knickers under the trousers? Yes, Penny, you do. You do. Look. I don't want this to be... Oh, hang on. So the dad's got little green boxers on. And the little boys got... Oh, they've got matching father and son boxers, look. Please, can you put where to put the tape for the hair? Yes, okay, look. So you see this here. This is where you've put... So this is your loops of wool. That's your loops of wool. That's your line of stitching. Then you snip that to make the fringe. And then that... I'll do it on the mum because you can see better on the mum. That's where the tape goes onto the doll's head. So you can see... Oh, actually, the mum hasn't got a trimmed fringe. She's got like a Wendy Craig fringe, hasn't she? Oh, hang on. Valerie says if you stitch around the shape a couple of times, then you can cut knitwear. Oh, thank you, Valerie. I know, Karen, it's horrendous. Oh, Karen, you don't live far from Francesca. Well, I say far. She's West London, you're North London, aren't you? Anyway, there's the line of stitching. So this is one that on the mum, she hasn't cut the fringe. She's left the fringe looped. But you could, if you want to make it like a little bit more frenetic, you can trim the loops at the front. I don't think there's anything where you can't trim the ones at the back as well, actually. You could trim the ones at the back. You don't have to keep it looped, but you don't do it until you've stitched that line in there. Helen, it is worse. It is worse because, first of all, Francesca hasn't been able to work. That's not, and there have been so many people. What size elastic did you use for the pants? I used 6... Oh, I haven't talked about the dress. I'll talk about the dress in a minute. I used 6mm. No, that's not 6mm. It said on the packet it was 6mm, but look, it isn't, is it? That's not 6mm at all. Wait a minute, where's my tape measure? Wait there. Oh, I've got a ruler up there, hang on. Oh no, I can see my tape measure. You'd think I'd come prepared for these, wouldn't you? Right, hang on. So it is... Oh, so hang on, that's quarter... It's... quarter an inch. Well, hang on, what's quarter an inch in millimetres? That might be easier. Oh, well, it's 5mm. It's 5mm. Oh, if I move this. Sorry, I've gone all... There we go, that's better. So, the other thing, the little girl's dress. No, not the little girl's dress. The mum's dress. This is the pattern piece for it. I'll get John next door to oil. Give me some oil for my... That's the pattern piece for it. So what you do is you cut 2 of those, sew them together on the side seams. Oh no, I'm putting it at the back here. So you sew them together on the side seams down there. I then sewed the hem up. And then what you do is you fold back that little bit there and stitch it down. I'll show you here. So you've sewed the side seams. You've sewn the hem. And then what I did was you see here, it's just got a little hem on it there. This isn't mine, this is Mary's, obviously. And then you make a casement at the top. And then you put the elastic through there, so it's easy to get on and off, but also stays on the doll once it's there. And then she's just stitched down the side seam, she's just stitched a piece of ribbon, so it's not going to go anywhere and the child won't lose it or anything. And then literally, oh, here we go, I'm going to put it on the dolly again. Would it help make soft toys for children to keep? You can do that as well. You can do that as well, but then it gets a little bit difficult because Francesca sees, I mean, how many cases, Francesca, did you see before we came off lockdown? In the few months before we came into lockdown, I think Francesca had like 100 cases. You look so slim in your suit you wore to the funeral. That's because that suit's too big for me. And I tried it on very quickly the night before, thinking, oh, this will do, this is fine, because I thought I'd put so much weight on. And then, of course, I got to the funeral and the trousers were too big and carrying that big flowers. There you go. There you go. Oh, shearing elastic. Yeah, you can use shearing elastic. Thank you, Diane, though. It's really weird because I saw some people like Carol the Cleaner and Maureen and they went, oh, John, you've lost some weight. And I haven't at all. But I've done Slimming World this week, so it's my weigh-in tomorrow morning. I'll let you know how I get on. I used to get so... Oh, who was that? You see, they've helped Helen in the past. Oh, hang on. If anyone has the Lunar Lapping book, you can use the clothing patterns for the adult dolls. Oh, that's a good idea. There you go. Look, in the last year, Francesca alone has had 120 cases, right? Shearing elastic, I haven't got it here. Debbie Shaw was doing it on Sewing Street the other day. Shearing elastic is like a little thin, it's the thinnest elastic. And you can put it in your bobbin. You can put it in your bobbin. So, now, how many people do Francesca's job around the country? Right? So, from September to February, Francesca had 100... This is Francesca alone, had 120 cases between September, October, November, December, January, February. So, in 6 months, she had 100... So, that's 20 cases a month, isn't it? Francesca had. It doesn't work like that because obviously it takes time. But 120 cases in 6 months. And Francesca, how many people do this job around that you know of around the British Isles? Oh yes, Ruth, that's a good idea because you could use it for therapy, not therapy, for learning as a learning skill, couldn't you? I know. Now, has anybody asked a question that I've missed out because I didn't see it because I was too busy faffing around with these? Or is there anything you want to ask me or Francesca before we go? Because we should really go because it's nearly 12 o'clock, isn't it? So if there's anything you want to ask, now I know I have to wait because there's a delay on this. But as I say, I'll get Ali, this will be tomorrow now, it won't be today. I'll get Ali to put the pattern for the clothes up on my website. Look, there you go. So there's 400 people do Francesca's job, and Francesca has 120 in 6 months, so say 214 a year. You see, it's not even worth thinking about. I use zigzag on my elastic, right? But Mary, I think Mary used a twin needle, did she? Oh, no. Mary just used a straight stitch. Oh, hang on, what did I say? Yes, he did. Oh, no. You see, Wendy, I've been having serious conversations with Francesca this week about maybe giving all this up and becoming a foster parent for children like that. I just think, but I don't know how I'd cope. I'd have to go through a lot of psychological tests to make sure, because you don't want to be in tears all the time, do you? But just think of a life you could give one of these children. I know. I'll think seriously about it, because obviously I've got my big birthday coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and it's the time of change, isn't it, and things. So, not the change. Obviously, I'm not menopausal, not yet. I wish. Right, okay. You're more than welcome, Donna. You're more than welcome. Could I encase a hair bobble in the top of the dress for elastic? Yes, you could. Yes, you could, Helen. You could easily do that. You see, you're also full of brilliant ideas. You know they're kids. Oh, that's nice. Look, people, because the other thing is, right? And I know she's one of my, well, I'd say my best friend, really. But Francesca, right? She does her job, right? Looking after these kids. But then who looks after Francesca? Do you know what I mean? I tell you what Francesca's therapy. Do we need a list of fabrics due to allergies? Oh, I don't know about that, Lo. I'll ask Francesca. My son is a police officer. I know. Well, Ali used to be a police officer, didn't she? And she's, anyway. As I said, we don't want to make this maudlin. What was the question I was answering? Oh, Francesca's therapy, cooking. She just cooks. Even when we used to work on the film in the film industry, right, and we'd be doing like 17-hour days, she'd get home and cook the most incredible food. So that's Francesca's therapy. Thank you, Tanis. I hope it wasn't too waffly and rubbishy, but let's hope it inspires, because you'll all do a better job than me. No, exactly, Ruth. Exactly. I dyed some white cheating with a tea bag to get... Oh, now, yes, you can do... Now, the thing is, you can do any ethnicity you like. I don't want this to turn into... Somebody put... I put a picture up on my Facebook page of Anna Sewing Nuts dolls, and somebody wrote... oh, I can't remember what they wrote, but it was saying there's not just white children in the world. And it was like, I know, but thank you, Linda. It's my absolute pleasure. My sewing room's a mess. My table's wobbly and creaking, but I wonder how I can stop that. I'll have to ask John next door. You did a great doll. My doll's naked now, so I won't be... therapy is cooking and rubbish TV. Yeah, and watching me on telly, that's what she does. Inspiring, thank you. Oh, listen, I wasn't looking for compliments, but thank you, Lintuit. Oh, look, Joe's going to make a family of them. Oh, brilliant. My postman, right? My postman, he's just got used to all the scrub hats and scrub bags and everything arriving like that. But he has to have a van now. He didn't used to have a van. Hello, Sandra Sakalas. Where have you been all morning? And now he's thinking, because just a quick word about the bags and the scrub hats. If you're in the middle of making some for me, please finish those, but don't start any new ones just yet. There we go. Alison went to a course check. There you go. You see? Heart goes out to Francesca. Laurie's watching now. Yeah, white cheating is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Oh, look, here's from Francesca. And I thank you all for your love, kindness, generosity, and empathy in helping us. You and John have truly, don't you make me cry, changed our working life. You see, that's what it means. That's how much, to us, we go, oh, I'll just run together 4 little dollies, a couple of days' work, you know what I mean? But to Francesca and those children, it's a lifeline, isn't it? Oh, don't start. Don't start. I want you to just keep it light and fresh today. Yeah, I will tighten the screws. I had to carry this up on my own last week. Oh, no, thank you, Wendy. You're very kind. Look, what did I say that? Sue. Oh, you see, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how people who work with these children... I mean, thank God people do. Thank God people are there to help these children, but I don't know how they do it. But who knows? If I'm going to become a foster parent, I'll have to do it, won't I? Sandra just said you just signed in. I've been here since 11 o'clock. Give it a go. Give it a go, because if they don't... Oh, Cheryl, hello, my love. If they don't make it to a family, then one of the kids will get it. Please send them to my P.O. Box address, which is on the instructions. Oh, hang on. Yeah, look. This is where you need to send them to. Oh, not that one. There you go. It's on the bottom of the instructions. It's my P.O. Box number. Oh, now, Anne, if you've got 50 scrub bags, send them. Send them. They're still needed, but I just think it's kind of slowing down a little bit now. Oh, now, hang on. Lo spoke to Francesca, volunteered to make teddies. Oh, wow, that's nice. There you go, you see. Francesca says it really does change life. If you're confused, Francesca is married to Pete Briquette from the Boomtown Rats, just so you know. And that's why she's talking from Pete Briquette, because she hasn't got a Facebook account. She's talking from the Pete Briquette thing. Right, I should go. You need to go and put your lunch on. At my age. I don't know what that was about. But anyway, I tell you what we're going to do next week. We'll have to wait and see. I have got a Becky Alexander Frost bag to make for you. Oh, thank you, Karen, my love. But that looks quite hard work. I know, Di. They're just amazing, aren't they? They're just amazing. And I only get glimpses into it. I don't hear foster. Oh, look, Bernie's foster children like this for years. Oh. Right, I better go. You've all got your Sunday lunches to cook. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go and see Dulcie in a minute, and that's it, I think. I don't think I've got anything else lined up. Better tidy up in here. Decide what I'm going to do next week. Anyway, don't forget, Tuesday morning. Oh, now there's no sunrise special. There's no sunrise special on Tuesday, just a special announcement. And Thursday, don't forget Thursday, because isn't it funny? There's only 5 of them left in the sewing bee now, isn't there? So it'll be the final soon. Anyway, after yesterday's gathering, nurses might get busy again. Yes, exactly. Get the pattern from our website at www.untitled johnscottsewingworld.com, free patterns. Everything's there. But ignore, you'll get 4 pages. Don't print off that last page. It's a waste of paper. And I'll get the patterns put on by Ali tomorrow. All right. The hay fever's gone a bit better now, hasn't it? I've been on Slimming World for a week. I think I need a treat. No, because it's my weigh-in tomorrow. I'll have my treat tomorrow. Right, I'm going. Yeah, I'm glad we can all do something to help. Oh, lovely Stuart's just signed in as well. Stuart, I'm off now. So, see you Tuesday at 8 o'clock. See you Thursday at 10 o'clock. And see you next Sunday. Oh, look, Alison did emergency fostering. Maybe I could do that. Emergency fostering. Then you're just there for them when they need you, don't they? Anyway, I'm going now. I shall see you soon. Oh no, Geraldine, I know. Oh, look, there's Mary Tanner. After we've just been showing and talking about her and all her dolls all morning. She's just tuned in. And I'm just going. Take care. Lots of love. I'll see you Tuesday, 8 o'clock. That's it. Bye.